Hey, welcome to this episode of Ruff Talk VR. Today we're back in studio, back in person.
Yeah, it feels good to be back.
Feels a little bit more normal today.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, we're joining you today with another Monday morning news edition. And right off the top, to start it out, we got to give a big shout out to Mothergunship Forge.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they just dropped a huge update. You know, there's a bunch of new weapons, new pieces.
Christmas theme.
Yeah, big people have Santa hats or Christmas hats.
Yeah.
It's the funniest
Little
thing.
elf hats or Christmassy decor.
You were dying at the robots running at us when we first started playing it, and you're like, dude, these hats they're making me laugh.
It's cool because, they had the Halloween theme, so they just really carried right over. And I didn't expect them to do shit with it for Christmas, to be honest. I don't know why I didn't think it. They did it for Halloween.
Right? And I said new weapons. I think that there might be one new gun.
I think one or two.
Yeah, the ice one. You got
the
it.
Freeze.
Yeah, you got it pretty quickly into us playing our first round. But then they added a bunch of new caps, connector things like the hot cocoa cap, which you can buy health pretty much. That one's a game changer for endless mode and stuff.
Well, and what's wicked cool is, like, for the Halloween one, they came out with the spooky parts. So you get the spooky part collection, which was a whole bunch of new caps and some new weapons and shit. Now with the winter one, they got the winter weapons and all that, but they didn't get rid of the Halloween one. So you can still have the spooky stuff.
Yep. Now you get freeze parts. And
Yeah.
Freezing is the coolest.
It's pretty bizarre.
Yeah, but most importantly, for people like us who love the co-op mode was in beta before. Now we've gotten every game mode that's available in single player and all the perks except sandbox mode.
Correct, which I'm not upset about.
I'm excited to hopefully one day get that in co-op, only so we can take our creations and go crazy with them. Because we've had some good runs and stuff like that, but no. The real big one is getting endless mode, in my opinion, into co-op.
Oh yeah, and I think when we played it the other day, I used the buffet cap or a perk.
Yeah.
So you get the extra extender.
That's the must-use perk that you always use for endless mode, right?
Yeah, I don't need the money or any extra health. Just I know how this game plays out, and it's like you're limited to how long you're gonna, especially in like endless mode.
Mm-hmm.
Your ability to get guns and different attachments are gonna run dry.
Yeah, and I will say my one wish though for that is, like, so in single player with endless mode, you can take breaks on it. Like you can stop around,
shut the game off, and come back to it.
Mm-hmm. You can't like save progress in co-op mode. I hope one day, because we were having a really long.
We just ran out of time.
Yeah, unfortunately,
quick game turned into 2 hours.
Huge update that came to Mothergunship Forge with all those new game modes, the new parts, the quality of life things. Like there's also things like when you go to the shop in co-op mode, now items instantly replenish once. So like that's super useful.
Oh yeah.
For us.
What about the Cocoa Cup?
Yeah. Well, that's what I talked about. The one that gives you
the new health.
Yeah, the 2 health for the or 1 health for 2 gold, I think it is.
Correct.
Oh my goodness.
Which in later rounds is like, dude, because let's be honest, you're gonna have like 300 gold.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that cap, if I see, I want to add a health upgrade, like to get the additional health space, I jump at it. Where usually I ignore them because I'll just be like, I'll just load up the gap with shield.
Mm-hmm. But
you're not always guaranteed shield.
Yeah.
So if I can get almost a full bar all from the health, and I have that cap, it's a home run, because now you can go from 1 health all the way back up. Blink, 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 blink. It's game changer.
We were doing an endless mode round, and we cleared a room, and I had that cap. So what we would do is we would just pass it back and forth. Like I'd use it real quick and be like, let me see that real quick. And then I would toss it to you.
Yeah.
You'd grab it, use it, toss it back. So even in co-op, you only need
Shareable.
one person with one. Yeah.
Yeah. I hope that wasn't a mistake, because that's a neat little feature.
Yeah.
To be able to, you can do, with anything you own or buy, whatever, if you don't share it, and just, you can share it with your co-op partner.
Mm-hmm.
Swap out anything.
The first thing I thought when I used it, I was like, oh, they're going to nerf this in a month. This thing's too good.
It's way too good. I don't want them to nerf it, though. If they maybe charged 4 gold, but again, in the later rounds,
well,
dude,
now,
you literally will have, because stores become useless.
Yeah, now things have to go really bad for you to lose in endless mode because you have to lose all of your health
in one round.
Which, hey, it's anybody,
possible.
anybody who's done
It's
it.
very possible.
So speaking of Mothergunship and endless mode, actually, before we move on to other news and stuff like that, I could probably talk about this game for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
We mentioned a couple weeks ago that we're going to do a challenge for Mothergunship.
Yep.
And that challenge is going live this week.
Yep.
So for this week, anybody who's listening, if you're not part of our Discord, now's a good time to
jump in and have some fun.
Yep. What we're doing is for this week, we're doing an endless mode challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So we're doing it by number of rooms cleared. So, we were talking like there's a couple different ways we could score this, but that's probably the fairest way to do it.
And it's really quantifiable because anybody can go into the leaderboard for endless mode and then see where. So if you say like, obviously we'll be posting photos and stuff, but if you just typed like, I'm top 10, it's like, well, you can go into the endless mode and see.
Mm-hmm. So when you do an endless mode run, when you're done and you have your screenshot or like the screen with, all of your score and the amount of rooms cleared, take a screenshot of that and then post it in the Discord to kind of like register your score.
Yeah.
And then whoever has the biggest one at the end of the week, they win.
We'll have to we'll see if Shoes can do a Mothergunship Forge emoji.
Yeah, dude, why don't we have one of those in the
right
in the
I think
Discord?
We need one.
Yeah, our Discord, man. You keep saying it's its own thing at this point. We have our custom emojis in it at this point. And like I keep saying, anybody who is not part of the Discord, man, you got to go check that out. It's a good time.
Yeah, and if you look at all the advice and tips or suggestions from the people in Discord, it's like it literally is like if you went in there blind and was like, hey, I'm brand new to VR, but I heard about this Discord thing and what do you recommend? It's like you're going to get not only like really helpful advice, but depending on what game you choose, you might even easily find people that'll be like, no, I'll help you out until you figure it out and get your own game channel set up. So
yeah, if you're interested in partaking in this challenge,
jump in, throw an endless mode beating.
You were saying that you have a endless mode run going right now that you're like,
right now.
You're like, I don't think anybody's going to beat this. You're pretty adamant about it.
I don't want to draw because I look at the leaderboard for endless mode and there's some beasts that I'm like shaking my head in disbelief that they got that many rounds, but I'm going to drop a good one.
Yeah, I think the leaderboard you were saying is 1,100 or something like that.
Yeah, it's like over 1,000. I'm like, how the hell you do 1,000 freaking rounds?
Because endless mode gets progressively harder and harder and harder.
Stupid hard. and shit comes at you fast. It's like we're usually like, like we'll say one of those cannon things. It shows up and then boof. No, the second it shows up, it's firing at you full speed. So blink, wham. So how someone did 1,000, I don't know. My highest to date is 91, but I'm pretty sure I'll beat that.
Yeah, you're ready to drop a bomb.
Yeah,
and
just a little more.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, you can save your progress and restart it. So don't think that you need to go do 91 rounds in a row.
No, the only downside that I found though, because I have to, I'm like I think the last one was almost 2 hours or something.
Need that Kiwi head strap with that.
The build up, oh god, yeah. The build up to the shit going on and how fast it all is. It's like you grew with it. So you take 3 or 4 hours off and then you put your headset back on and it's like, okay, yep, I'll fire this back up. It's like you're going into the thick of it right from no build up, no warm up. And it's like you might not remember how aggressive it really was. Because that's happened before. I've gone back in and been like, how the hell was I doing this? All I hear is the ting, ting, ting. I'm like, oh my God. And then, game over and I'll post it.
No, that's a good point. But, you can take a break.
I mean, I do.
But be ready for shit to be hot.
My brain always knows now. When I go back in there, you just get ready because it's go time.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see the results of this challenge. This will be
Should
good.
be pretty fun.
And if somebody beats you, we'll talk about, sending a game or something like that, but because I don't think anybody, I'm on your side. Your current one's pretty intense.
Yeah.
I'll be surprised if somebody beats it, but let's see.
Oh, we'll see. Yeah. We'll figure something out.
But nonetheless, so on to other news now. Like I said, I could talk about Mothergunship Forge for an hour, I think, every week.
I post it anytime people are asking for
Mm-hmm.
like a new game experience or something.
Especially co-op.
I'm like, dude, it is the sleeper of the year, in my opinion.
Yeah. Whew. Love it. So the Quest Pro,
You know,
they put out an update, and I love this. The recording in it, just like on the Quest 2, if you recorded in pass-through, it just showed black background. It didn't show your actual environment. I'm sure in their mind it's for like privacy and security reasons, but instantly, because the Quest Pro has that color pass-through, everyone was requesting, come on, I want to easily
I want my privacy broken now.
I want to easily be able to record this. So they were putting out an update that lets you record your pass-through environment on the Quest Pro. I think that's pretty cool.
I think it's a game changer for people that, you know, there's obviously a lot of people that want to be able to do that. And I think there's more that are seeing it and being like, well, I want to record like that.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to see more clean homes than you've ever seen in your life.
Well, I still say that, you know, even in the Quest 2 black and white infrared pass-through, I wish that when you had that as a home environment and you invited somebody to your group chat, because it puts you them
could
in
choose them to see it.
Yeah, they're you think that they can see it. It looks like that they can see it because you'll see them in your pass-through, but they're only seeing their pass-through. I wish that there was a setting that you could toggle on and be like, yeah, share my pass-through environment with party.
Not only that, it'd be cool if like you did the settings for the room so it knew like that's where your couch was, and then when you invite the person over, you can put them where you want. Like I'll put them in the chair, because sometimes you'll pop into my home environment and you'll be like above my TV or some shit. I'm like, how the hell you get there?
Yeah, be able to set teleport spots basically, you know.
But how new the technology is being used, I think that's a pretty cool update.
Yeah, no, I was, you know, we're not Quest Pro users, unfortunately, but if I was, you know, I would definitely be wanting that.
Yeah, we'd
that
be
pass-through.
excited.
Yeah,
We're excited just knowing that other people will be happy.
Well, you know, if this type of technology and stuff keeps coming to future generations like Quest 3, then by all means, I'm excited. You know,
that'll be the question, though.
Yeah, is
because I'm thinking some of the slicing they'll do to keep it cost effective is going to be shit that we really want.
Yeah, you know, I can understand no face and eye tracking for the, you know, the $300-$400 price tag, but
we already said that's $1,000 upgrade.
Yeah.
So,
but going back, you know, keeping black and white pass through, I think would be a mistake in the future generation. It just seems like the consumer base wants that color pass through so bad. There's experiences that are starting to be based around it. I think it's a must feature for the next generation, but we'll see.
Yeah, I got my fingers crossed on it.
Yeah. Speaking of Quest updates as well, it also seems that they're pushing out an update that, you know, the ghost hands in the home screen when you're selecting your app and just, you know, not in an app in the home screen, instead of it being those transparent ghost hands, they're becoming your meta avatar hands. And I've seen most people love it, and I saw one dude on Reddit like wigging out about it. He's like, "I want my transparent hands back." It's like, oh, you know, you can never make everybody happy. He was quite passionately against it, though. It was quite funny to read. But that's just another cool update. I like that. That adds the immersion.
I'm becoming more fond of, if they do an update to something, to giving you the option for
on or off.
Yeah, I'm going back in my head to the VR thief sim there
with
the car key. It's like, you know, I get it, but some people don't.
Yeah,
you know, just leave the option available.
I haven't dug deep enough in the settings to actually see if they let you toggle it on or off. It's possible they do. I don't think so, though. My gut's going to say no.
Thinking it got nerfed.
Yeah. But I do like the meta avatar, like carrying over to different apps and stuff like that. I even said one time, imagine if we were playing Mothergunship Forge, which we were just talking about before. Imagine if our meta avatars were in that instead of the floating robots.
Oh, no, it would be awesome.
Dude, I would pee myself seeing your guy in his suave little suit and his, you know, library looking uniform.
Decked out gun.
Dude, it would be the funniest thing. Just putting Lego parts on your hands. Oh my god, it would be the best. So yeah. I don't think that there's been a co-op or multiplayer game, even if it's serious based, that I don't think would be hilariously awesome with the meta avatars. So
dude, any freaking game. I mean, even Pop 1, if you could carry over your got people in suits and stuff running around.
Yeah, no, I love the meta avatar support. So little subtle thing, but your hands are going to be your meta avatar. Look at that. And then
Slowly they're piecing the whole body together, though.
right? Piece by piece.
Yeah, legs.
I even
hands.
I edited my avatar like a couple weeks ago,
Mhm.
and it had me select legs and stuff
Yeah.
on him, but it said not all apps yet support this, but I don't think
Correct.
that any app supports it yet.
But you have legs now.
Theoretically, if I go into my customizing, my editor, yes, my guy has edible legs.
Edible?
Like editable.
Editable.
How would you say that word?
Editable.
Editable.
I thought you said edible.
Edible legs.
Like you can eat them too?
Yep. They're like
Edible
Slim
legs.
Jims. I got walking Slim Jims.
Walking Slims.
This podcast is brought to you by Kiwi Design, the leader in MetaQuest and VR accessories. And now you can deck out your device while supporting the podcast. The MetaQuest 2 is a great headset, but do you ever feel things could be a bit more comfortable? Well, we have the solution for you. With lens protectors, controller grips, face covers, head straps, link cables, headset stands, and more, including my two personal favorites, the top version controller grips with added weight and an extended handle, and the Kiwi upgraded Elite strap. Let's be real, we've all whacked our controller. Don't be the guy messaging Oculus support for your own mistake or waiting weeks for an out-of-stock controller. Visit the link in our show notes to prepare yourself today. After visiting the link in our show notes, make sure to use the promo code Ruff Talk VR at checkout, all one word, to take full advantage of your savings. And make sure to click the link in our show notes so the podcast gets credit and you help support us. Remember, whatever you need, Kiwi has you covered. We are excited to announce our newest Ruff Talk VR podcast sponsor, VRlist.xyz, a marketplace for VR talent that just launched April this year and already has over 100 members as of October. At VRlist.xyz, they believe the metaverse will usher in new opportunities for all those who partake in it. With that, they asked a simple question: how can you find VR creators? Unhappy with the results they found, it was time to take things into their own hands. They've embarked on a journey to simplify how those looking for VR services can connect with those who supply them. VRlist.xyz is an open marketplace for VR creators, instructors, entertainers, and proprietors to proudly showcase their talents and spaces to potential clients. And with already over 100 vendors listed, including Stratus and yours truly, VRlist.xyz is quickly becoming the premier VR talent marketplace. Again, that's VRlist.xyz to find the right VR talent for your needs. So, nonetheless, in other news as well, the Walking Dead Saints and Sinner Chapter 2, Retribution, kind of like stealth dropped.
Very strange.
Right? It was a very quiet release, don't you feel?
Well, I saw a lot of video getting posted and people talking about it, and I think I sent you a message, and I'm like, what the frick? But yeah, it just seemed to kind of happen.
Yeah. And now we're definitely overdue to review the first one, so don't be surprised if you see a 1-2 combo of the first and the second reviews dropping sometime soon. But that's definitely one to check out. I've heard some mixed things. That's the surprising part.
I haven't heard much good things,
which is weird. That was like the most.
So I'm
one of the most popular games on the Quest.
I'm confused and concerned, but now I got to know myself, because I mean, I've got some time in with the first one, but I don't know. Some of the things people are saying has got me a little like, oh, I hope this isn't true.
I've seen some people say that the graphics are worse than the first one.
Correct.
And that doesn't make sense to me.
And very narrative heavy.
Yeah. I'm like, what?
Although I did hear this was great. Someone complained that it was way too narrative heavy for their audience, for them to stream to, because their audience was getting bored with just watching you stand there in front of an NPC and not do anything but listen. And so I was like, well, how much of that is really narrative heavy, and how much of is that of just inconvenient for someone trying to stream it?
Yeah. Dialogue always gets mixed results in games too. I've always been a fan of dialogue, but I've even seen people play like pretty RPG heavy games and then complain about needing to skip dialogue. It's like, well, the dialogue is a big part of a role-playing game.
There have been games in my life I just, you realize real quick, like nothing coming out of anyone's pie hole is going to make or break the game for me. So I would just skip, 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 skip.
Well, here's the thing. I actually, you know what? I have an opinion on this. If it's like talking dialogue like that you can skip and, you press a button to go to the next paragraph and, select your answers, whatever. I've never had a problem with that. It's cutscenes that kill me. Cinematics that just go on forever. I've never been a fan of cinematics in games. So it's like that type of dialogue kills me. Cinematic dialogue. But if it's like, skippable reading dialogue, you're just chatting with, I've never had a problem with that. It's those long cutscenes in games that sometimes get me.
Yeah, there's been a few that have been.
Especially when it's a game and it's like, the first 2 hours is all cutscenes. Like you'll walk like 10 feet and then another cutscene and then they'll have you pick something up and it's another cutscene.
Thank God VR hasn't gotten to that point yet.
No, cutscenes in VR don't work well, even for like Green Hell for their limited cutscenes. It goes like flat screen. That's how Resident Evil 4 did it too. It's it's a different genre. I don't think cutscenes have a place in VR. It's weird.
I don't think you need it.
No, just make it like something happening in front of you. That's way better.
So yeah, mixed reviews, but at the end of the day, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll check it out on our own. We'll form an opinion. Like I said, still overdue to review the first one, and this might actually work good. Maybe by the time we're done reviewing the first one, then the second one has some quality of life increases and stuff like that.
Nice.
And sometimes that's how it goes. Maybe that's why they stealth dropped it, because they're like, oh shit, we had to meet a deadline and it still needs some work. So
still
don't hype it up. And
one of the best games for for a long time. So
yeah, I was shocked that it's gotten mixed results. But like I said, we'll form our own opinion. I always take other reviews with
a
the
little
greatest
skeptical.
So in other news, a company we talk about a lot, Resolution Games, makers of Demio, Ultimax, Cookout, whole bunch of good games. They're hosting a showcase on December 15th. Their own showcase. And they've teasing at least one new game. And I'm curious, you have to do a whole showcase on yourself.
Yeah. You got to have more than one game.
It can't just be one game.
Or I think there's going to be a lot of update news.
I was going to say that. And I'm like, dude, to be able to do a whole showcase, that you got to at least have a good handful of things to talk about.
No, so, they've become a very powerful VR studio.
No,
for what they do, I mean, they're doing it well. So I put them up there with the Mighty Coconut type,
the Vertigo games, the Shell games.
Yeah, there's a handful that they're just look. I mean, if they put their
Fast
name
travel
on it,
games,
they don't even have to develop it. They can just be the publisher of it, and if they've got their name on it, there's some expectation of quality coming. So. No, I think it's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, so I'm really curious to see what comes on December 15th from Resolution Games. Like I think you hit the nail on the head. I'm expecting a new game that they're teasing, and then a whole bunch of update stuff.
Yeah, I could with their list of games that they have under their control too. It'd be easy for them to. I mean, shit, if they did an update to all of them, that's enough to talk about. But Demio is going to have some conversation for sure.
Probably Ultimax as well.
Yeah, that would be probably one where I think we'll see the biggest updates. I would think.
You never know, though.
Yeah, who knows? I'm really excited to see what they're going to talk about for their new game, though.
It's going to be good, though.
Yeah, so, I'll be listening.
So not a super heavy news week this week. I got one more piece of news up my sleeve to talk about, and then we can kind of, I guess, maybe banter for a minute or wrap this baby up. But the most reviewed game on the Quest store, App Lab, or official store is Gorilla Tag, which is on the App Lab. It has 46,000 reviews.
Don't they manufacture Halos and stuff? Since they're responsible for more controllers being broke, they probably own the company.
Yeah, right. I've seen so many pictures of people being like, "My controller broke playing Gorilla Tag." Somebody at the gym I trained walked up to me and they're like, my son broke his Quest 2 controller, and I go, "Was he playing Gorilla Tag?" And he goes, "Yep."
Yeah, no, it's. I mean, it's funny, but it's serious.
Yeah, so it's a free App Lab game, and now it's like I said, with 46,000 reviews, the most on the whole Quest store. It's finally coming to the official Quest store on December 15th as well.
Dude, it's a sick amount of reviews
for App Lab.
Sick, and for being free, because a lot of times free doesn't necessarily mean popular, but that's one that I think was one of the examples of like technically never had to go to the store to do well.
Mm-hmm.
It just had that grassroots organic growth that
And
they crushed it.
It has such a weird gameplay too, where you like swing yourself with your arms, which you can see how that would cause
Ceiling fans and floors
and walls and broken fingers and stuff.
I don't want to play it.
Well, because I've hit my wall so many
I don't
times.
want to play it. We're gonna have to.
It's got a little squeaker problem too. It's one of
Kids. No, and I've heard.
That's one of those we'll play in party chat and mute everybody else and just go around and tag people. But yeah, you just swing your arms and it's a game of tag. So that's how you move and you go place to place and you tag the other person.
No,
Boom.
I think they're gonna do amazing. I hope their servers will handle it when they come over to the store.
If it's this popular in App Lab, I mean, like,
how are these little kids finding App Lab games?
Dude, that was the first thing I wondered. Like,
yeah, because it's always been inundated with little kids. So it's like, how are these little minds able to like?
Are these kids going to school and they're like, do you know what App Lab is?
Right.
Like,
because that's always what I think when you stumble on a game like that.
I bet you only play official store games.
Yeah.
Nerd.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'll give them credit on that.
Yeah.
But no, it's going to be, and you know what? Maybe it'll pull a lot of the kids away from Among Us. Kind of free it up for some adulties to go in there,
I bet you that kids are going to complain when Gorilla Tag comes to the official store. They're going to be like, now there's adults playing this. It was better on App Lab. Now too many people know about it.
Right. They ruined it. Adults ruin everything like they did Facebook.
So
actually, no, Facebook was always adults. Kids stayed away from Facebook because they had the MySpace. And then slowly but surely they migrated over because MySpace just became no space.
And then Instagram popped up and then Facebook went, we'll buy that.
Although, if they had just left MySpace alone,
never updated it,
didn't frick it all up.
Because that's what I remember when everybody, all my friends migrated from MySpace to Facebook.
It was
after one update, and it was just terrible.
Yeah, they killed it. But when it's in its prime.
Yeah, MySpace was the best. You had your personal page.
Well, that's the thing. It's the only social media that really allowed you to get creative with who you are and like what music you listen to.
Your playlist, your
or
background.
If you were an indie performer or an indie musician, whatever, you could really promote your shit good.
Dude, you don't understand.
No weird musical licensings with using videos. And
I will tell you, you don't understand the friend beef that occurred
with top friends. 8, yeah.
I think you could set it, anywhere from like 3 to 10 or something like that.
Yeah.
People would be all passive aggressive, fucking they're mad at you or something. You go check their
You got bumped.
I got bumped down 4. God forbid you reorganize yours. You get a text message on your flip phone.
I had mine pretty strategic, but it wasn't.
I always kept MySpace Tom as 1.
As number 1.
Yeah, political reasons. I'm not dealing with that petty shit. I move somebody from 1 to 2 and they get all mad. Nope, MySpace Tom is number 1. That was always mine.
He definitely wasn't mine. Mine was pretty. We'll just leave it at that. No, but MySpace was good at the time, and then everybody bailed and jumped to Facebook.
Yeah,
but you don't have, let's be honest. Facebook is I don't have any beef with it, but you don't have that really expressive liberties that you do to go like, well, this is me.
No, everybody's Facebook profile looks the same.
Yeah. Just the words are...
The content of what you share is...
I like the idea of you could go to someone's page and you can make a total statement about who you are just without even talking to the person. Be like, oh shit, that's wicked cool.
Yeah, and dude, I knew so many young kids that learned web coding and HTML.
To add the
because
the
you
graphics.
had to,
Yep.
Unless you wanted some plain ass loadout.
No, you had to have, I had like spinning flags for all the...
I remember going to websites and just copy and pasting code into my profile. No, it's a shocker that MySpace got killed because it was...
It's still alive. I think
one time I went to go...
Who owns it? Is it Justin Timberlake?
I know MySpace has gotten bought and sold so many
times. I know I went there.
It's gotten sold a lot of times.
I think like almost a year ago I typed in MySpace just to see.
Website took 10 minutes to load. It was terrible.
Oh, dude. It's too bad. It really is, because they had a good platform.
Yeah, of all social media.
How to ruin something great 101.
Right.
Do what they did. So, but I'm still shocked nobody's recreated that whole
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Your space.
yeah. Like I had always wanted to come out with this is gonna sound so morbid, but when MySpace was at its peak, I was like, wow, how come they don't have Dead Space? Like pretty much memorial MySpace for loved ones. So you could go in there and put like, you know, ancestry photos of all your different, you could have like your family tree in like a MySpace format.
Called
like,
it Dead Space.
I just couldn't think of a great name for it. So I was always like, no, I think I'd call it Dead Space. But basically where you can take the dead and let them live forever via the internet. And then as the technology gets even more impressive and you're able to do 3D scans, and it's like this possibility takes on it's like a real value. It's like, you want to go see grandma? Well, I guess in our world, we just put a headset on and you could have a 3D scan of you know, a lost, you know, go visit them in a field and shit. And as AI technology gets better and you could input voices, it's like you'd be able to like talk like your deceased loved one. I think it's freaking great.
Especially if you have a loved one or anyone who wrote like an amateur memoir. Just, you know, copy and paste that into the AI, to the GBT.
Let their voice actually do the talking, or take you on a tour of their life. It'd just be to me, it'd be a lot better than going to a cemetery. Be like, yo, see all that dirt you're under. You know, it's like, it's very just dry, you know, or if you get cremated, I mean, do people really stop at urns and sit there and have a conversation and be like, you know, really wish we'd done more when you were around, you know, pat the urn, dig, 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 walk away. But if you could put on a headset or go to a place and like hear your loved one and see your loved one, take a walk with them, maybe check out VR chat together because it's an AI unit. Who cares? They'll do whatever you want. Go ride a roller coaster.
Go into big screen.
Right?
Go watch a movie.
Yeah. Play some golf. That is an area I think that would really excel in the VR world.
That's the next big tech startup right there.
I mean, I never met my grandfather, so it would be cool if I could sit down and, you know, across from him at a table and hear him talk, or see him in like a 3D type scan environment. Dude, that's freaking insane. But we'll see. Technologies. I own Dead Space though.
I've been
I want to
loving.
see that one pop up.
I've been loving that Chat GBT that just dropped
Yeah.
this past week.
Very impressive.
Yeah, that's been everywhere now. OpenAI is very impressive. That's another Elon Musk. Well,
Yeah, it's such a life cheater though.
what, using it for like work stuff? And
Well, but even that, or just to seem like, yeah, well, I'll say work stuff.
I think that there's going to be a lot of people that use it for simple work, even in its rudimentary stages
Schools,
now.
you know, school shit.
How do you, dudes? When I first went and like on it, I was like, yeah, society's not ready for this. Write me an essay about this in this grade's writing level, and it does.
And it does.
It does pretty freaking good. Some of the things that I've like tested out, I'm like, I don't know if I could have wrote better than what it just pumped out.
Oh God, no.
And I'm like, wow.
It's that quick too. Your brain couldn't comprehend or create the entire story faster than this thing spits it right out after you hit go.
No, it's pretty impressive. So yeah, I don't know if society's ready for that type of invention yet. You know, how much of a disruptor it could be, you know, with essays, with work projects, with all that stuff. But it's freaking cool to play with.
No, I've been laughing at some of the shit you've sent my way. And we've tested it too with some careful, we won't say what, but it seems like it's put together well and knows the difference between an asshole.
It's got some filters in it.
Yeah.
It'll tell you not to be an asshole if you're being an asshole, to be honest with you. But yeah, no, I'm excited to see more and more examples of that come out. But
what about Elon's neurotransplants and shit?
Yeah, I've been hearing that there's supposed to be some news about Neuralink coming.
You know what's crazy? I would do it.
I would not. Okay, let me put it this way. I'm not going to use Gen 1. I'm not going to be the first, 100 people that use it.
I think I would.
Fuck
I just
that.
what really creeps me out.
I'll let the first group of people.
What creeps me out is like, in no which way or form will you ever be the same person again if like you could literally get uploaded with like, oh, I want to learn French.
Well,
and then all of a sudden it's just there in your head.
They've been testing it on with monkeys, and the problem is the installation process.
It's dangerous.
Yeah, not all the monkeys make it.
No.
But the ones that do make it, then they're able to like control cursors with their mind and woo. But you got to make it first.
Yeah.
That's why I say I don't want to be Gen 1. I want to see a whole...
I hear you, but people still die in operating tables from surgeries they've been doing for 100 years.
Yes. Most times when you need your brain operated on, it's because you're going to die if you don't.
Yeah.
Not because you want to put a...
Well, how's this? And you're always awake for it. Brain surgery, they don't put you under for. You're clearly know what's going on. In some cases, they'll even...
Are you 100% that there's no brain surgery that they put you out for?
Maybe there's one, but I don't think so. I think there's a reason
they
can't put you out.
I don't know enough
but
to say that you're wrong or you're right.
They can even stimulate areas of your brain and make you feel things.
You could tell me right now, that if you have toe surgery, they keep you awake, and I'd be like, oh shit, I don't know enough about toe surgery. I don't know.
No, I've actually never heard of anyone being out for brain surgery. I always thought there was a reason why they can't put you.
I'll tell you right now that...
I mean, they numb the pain, of course.
think it's messed up they don't put you out for wisdom teeth surgery. Because
they can if you have fat insurance or you're willing to spend
they
$3,000.
won't though for freaking...
Because you have to bring in an anesthesiologist.
Yeah, no, dude. Do you know how traumatic it is to be numb, but you hear the cracking of your tooth?
Dude, I'm haunted by
it.
The striations in my dentist's
and just hearing
freaking arm as I'm watching the muscles popping.
And crack.
Just rocking. Oh, yeah, mine put up a fight.
Mm-hmm. I had one because I got my wisdom teeth taken out post-infection. I had my one tooth that was infected before. Mm-hmm. It put up a fight coming out.
I have learned though whenever
I go, while he's doing it, I was like, I feel that a little bit. He's like, all right, we'll give you another shot of Novocaine. I was like, this is fun. I shouldn't be awake for this.
No, I've learned whenever they give you Novocaine and then they go to do something in your mouth, even if you don't feel it, tell them you feel it. Mm-hmm. Because no.
Oh, it's the sound of it cracking that haunts me.
Dude, I had a root canal like 5 years ago.
Fuck that.
The word root canal is anxiety inducing. Mm-hmm. It wasn't as bad as actually the word is. And I told them that. I'm like, you need to change the name because root canal just it's not a selling point to get people in here. We all know what canals are. Mm-hmm. And the word root sounds really painful. Like you have an exposed root.
Well, they're going to go in there and they're going to rip your tooth out.
A root, dude.
Rip all the roots of it out. Put a fake one on. Oh, my God. It's terrible. But, nonetheless.
I am not telling people not to go to the dentist, though.
No.
Just know that if you're going for wisdom tooth and you're not shelling out for the good stuff,
you're going to hear
you're never going to
crack.
forget it.
Nope. Yeah. It's a distinct sound and you're going to hear it 4 times.
Possibly, yeah.
Depending on who you are, I needed all mine taken out.
I have one still that's not an issue.
Oh my God. By the last crack, I was so done with it. I was like, I don't want to ever hear this noise again.
No, and I always thought the drills were the worst sound, but they're not.
No.
Sound of your teeth being yanked out of your skull.
But,
No, the worst part about it too?
What?
Is the little, you'll sign anything at that point if you need your teeth out, wisdom teeth, they hurt. That something could go wrong and you might be facially paralyzed because there's nerves that run through your...
there's one person listening to this that has like a wisdom tooth surgery next week and they're like, fuck.
Well, just know that, your dentist should be open and honest with you. Mm-hmm. Mine was, he's like, look, there is a possibility that you're going to, when you're done, your face isn't going to feel like it's hanging off your face. It is going to be hanging off your face. So it won't be just like, it'll be like forever Novocaine.
It's all right. When I was, when I got knee surgery, I'm sitting there all drugged the fuck up on like cloud 9 with the magic cocktail that they shoot in. When you get surgery, man, if you're going out, I had the nurse lean in before and she goes, "Oh, they're giving you the good stuff." So I'm high out of my mind. Doctor walks in, the surgeon, he goes, "All right, I gotta, I have to do this. This is part of the thing. I have to read you like the disclaimer. There's a possibility, blah, blah, blah." I didn't hear a goddamn word that came out of his mouth of the potentials that could go wrong, but I knew it involved death.
Why do you think they wait till then?
Yeah, and I was like, this is so dirty.
You might, hey, wake up. You might die. Hey, he
it was
acknowledged.
It was basically colors coming out of his mouth, but like, I was like, all right, sounds good, Doc. I trust you.
I saw him blink. That's a legal acknowledgement. All right, give me the scalpel.
All right, but you want to wrap this baby up? I think that's a good.
Yeah,
good Monday.
I thought I had something backburnered I wanted to talk about, but I guess I don't.
Oh no, it slipped away.
No, it was. I mean, if it was really that important, I would have written it down.
You say that, but hey, if you remember, we can talk about it on Wednesday when we review Broken Edge, another VR sword fighting game. Right? There's no shortage of rhythm games, competitive shooters, or sword fighting games on the Quest store. I'll say that much.
2022 is definitely the year for sword fighting games. So if you ever wanted to be a swashbuckler, a knight, a pirate, a samurai, there's just, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll get into it. It's Wednesday's episode, but nonetheless, stay tuned for that. Like I always say, subscribe, rate us 5 stars. Go check out our official Discord, our official subreddit. There's big things happening there. You can find those links in the show notes, the episode description, and then as well, if you even want to check out the Patreon,
I won't stop you.
Yeah, no one's stopping you. If you go right ahead.
It's the holidays. I want a toy. I'm a Quest 2 user. Come on, man.
Come on. All right. So other than that, check you out on Wednesday. Ciao, ciao.
Take care.